Welcome to the Reclaim Fitness podcast, where we challenge what the fitness industry provides for us as women and birthing bodies and caregivers, and discuss what it looks like for us to reclaim this space so that it serves us. I am here to create a supportive community that empowers by providing knowledge about our bodies and encouraging you to find what is right for your body. My name is Susan Hathaway. I'm your host. I'm a certified personal trainer through the National Academy of Sports Medicine with added certifications in prenatal and postpartum fitness through Girls Gone Strong and Mama Strong. So please join me as you go about your day. Maybe you're going for a walk. Maybe you're folding your laundry, lying next to your child who refuses to sleep, or maybe you found a few minutes to yourself. Either way, I'm here with you and we'll get through this together. Hello, my friends. Thank you for joining me today. We are still in the month of May, which means we are on our topic of reclaiming your space. And today I wanted to talk about reclaiming your space in your schedule, which I know it sounds very similar to reclaiming your time. But I wanted to kind of revisit this because I know we've already done that topic. We did that all last month, but I'm realizing that I'm not really getting much into the logistics of things, and I want to do that for you guys. So I thought I'd revisit reclaiming your time a little bit. And also, just a heads up, I've been sick all week, and so my voice is a little funny today, but we're all good. We're all getting better. And also, there was something else I was going to tell you, and I didn't write it down, and so I forget. If I remember at some point during the podcast, I will let you know. But this has been happening to me a lot, as I'm sure some of you know how it is when you have a newborn, and things just go into your brain and then they escape very quickly. So today, we're going to talk a little bit about reclaiming your space in your schedule. And I wanted to go over what that means and what that can look like. Because I think within the traditional fitness model, we look at working out as something that takes up a significant amount of time in our schedule. And once we become caregivers and we start taking care of our other tiny humans, and our schedule becomes very full very fast, and spending an hour on a workout is a luxury, right? That is not something that we are usually able to do. And even if we are able to get an hour-long workout in here or there, it's very difficult to make that a consistent habit. So how do we do that? What does it look like to work out, get movement in consistently as a parent, as a caregiver? I am here to change that, change kind of the mindset around that, or at least help you to rethink what working out looks like now that we have other responsibilities that are very unpredictable and take up a lot of our time. First, I want to say you don't need a lot of time to work out. Myself coming from an athletic background where I would spend significant amount of my time either in the gym or at practice, especially as a soccer player and as a track and field, doing track and field, being a runner. I spent a lot, especially in my college career, on either the field or in the gym, and hours of my day. And so it was difficult for me to really know what working out looks like when you're not committing, a large percentage of your life to it. It was hard, not to mention it was hard for me to accept that I was no longer an elite athlete. transitioning into motherhood and realizing that I just didn't have that kind of time anymore, and that it was such a luxury, it made it really difficult for me to know how to make that work, and what does it even look like to work out when I can't leave my children for longer than half an hour. So the first thing I learned was that you don't need a lot of time to work out. Although it would be nice to take your time and do something that you enjoy, it is not a requirement to get a good workout in, to one, do it all at the same time, or to do it for a long amount of time. The way that I structure my own workouts and that I do my programs around with my clients is we do 15-minute workouts. This doesn't, even that is a decent chunk of time, right? 15 minutes. I know that even my 5-year-old can have a really hard time playing by himself for 15 minutes. And so, let alone a baby. And so when I say 15-minute workouts, that can even be spread out throughout the day. You can literally do a minute here, a minute there. And in my opinion, it doesn't even have to be 15 minutes. There are recommendations on the amount of exercise that there have been studies done in which they have been able to calculate the amount of exercise that is most beneficial to you. So there's like an optimal amount in which you start seeing more health benefits. But that doesn't mean that if you are below that number that you aren't getting some benefits. So if you are only able to work out for 1 minute a day, you are still going to benefit from that. Even if it is a long-term benefit of creating a habit of taking even a minute to yourself. Right? So it may not be the type of benefits that we often think of when we think of fitness, whether it be heart benefits, like heart body functions, as in like helping your heart to function better. I don't know why I'm having a hard time describing that. Or respiratory benefits, or fat burning or weight loss benefits, things like that. That's a big one. And I would argue that that is not the only benefit to exercise, and that it definitely isn't the most important benefit to exercise. Even mental health benefits to exercise. All those things, you may not necessarily see them if you're only doing 1 minute workouts a day, but you are creating a habit that someday you will eventually be able to build on. And so allowing yourself to accept that 1 minute is enough can in the long run really set you up to be able to increase that time and see some of the other health benefits that come with exercise. So like I said, you can even break up your workouts throughout the day. I believe it's the American Heart Association has recently found that you do not need to be doing exercise in entire chunks of time. You can spread them out and still see cumulative benefits. So, if you're working out for 5 minutes in the morning and then you're doing 5 minutes before bed, cumulatively, you've worked out for 10 minutes. You're not like restarting, or there's not like a certain point at which something counts. And then if you do anything less than that, then it's not worth doing, right? So there you go. It doesn't have to look like you put on your workout clothes, you get to the gym, you get to your workout room or whatever. You even just find a clear spot on the floor and work out for a solid amount of time. It could look like you're in the kitchen and you're making dinner and you're able to do a few squats because you're standing still. I do I will say that I highly recommend creating boundaries for yourself and creating that time where you can get solid workout time to yourself, just because then our family starts to respect that after, I mean, ideally, right? After a certain period of time, they learn, okay, this is mom or dad or whoever's time in the day to work out. And this is what she does every single day. And so I'm going eventually, like, I just know that that's what's going to happen. And you create that boundary, you create that expectation for them, and then it gets easier for them to accept that as part of their day. Ideally, right? Not always. Realistically, you're going to have difficult days when they're not going to be okay with it. And, or it may take a very long time for them to get used to that. And that can be hard to adjust to for everyone. But I highly recommend trying to create that space for yourself because you deserve that. And one other thing to think about is making your kids a part of your movement routine. If it's just impossible for you to get away from them, and this may be a day-to-day thing, right? There might be a day where you're able to get away from them completely. Your partner can cover for you, or you're able to give them some screen time and they can sit quietly while you do your workout. If that is just not happening, having exercises that they find fun and they can take part in is one way to get some movement in. If you find yourself kind of scoffing at this idea, I get you and I feel you. I think this idea of getting movement in at weird times can definitely be seen as something that is pressuring you to do more in the midst of an already overwhelming and demanding schedule. But I hope instead you see this as a chance for you to claim time for yourself because your body needs it. But if carving out specific time for yourself just doesn't happen, which is real and true sometimes, doing these little things for yourself at random moments, like taking a tiny minute in your day while you're in the car waiting to pick up your kids from school, to give yourself a kind touch and do some shoulder rolls, can be a rebellious act when the expectation is for you to continuously give to others without any consideration for yourself. You deserve the same love you give to others. And if it feels too much to dedicate specific time to your own self-care, these little things matter and they are enough too. I haven't fully figured this out yet myself, but there really is a part of me that believes there's a way to find ourselves even within the chaos of life, even in the midst of the unpredictability and the overwhelm of parenting. Maybe it's just a hope that I'm not losing myself. But I think a lot of it is a true belief that we aren't meant to completely lose ourselves in all of this. There are ways to reclaim who we are. And even if who we are has transformed into this parenting figure, right? We can still be our own person in the midst of that and claim the things that keep us healthy and keep us human. So that's all I have for you today. Like I said, it was a little bit more logistic today on, tips and things you can do to get that time to yourself. And oh my gosh, you guys, I just remembered what I was going to tell you at the beginning of the episode. I am likely going to only be providing the audio version of my episodes from now on, just because it just makes life a little more simpler for me, and simple is good. So I will still be having reels on Instagram where you can see me here and there, but I think it's just easier all around if I provide only the audio on Spotify. So I apologize if you just love seeing my face and watching me in the videos, but it will be audio from now on. So I'll be joining you on your headphones and in your car or wherever you listen. And I will see you next week. Remember, you are already strong, you are already beautiful, and you and your body deserve love. Bye. Thanks for joining me today. If you like the podcast, be sure to subscribe so you know when a new episode is coming out. And if you have a minute, if you could review or share the podcast with a friend or a family member, I'd really appreciate it. And if you'd like more information about movement and fitness within the caretaking and parenting space, be sure to follow me on Instagram at Reclaim Fitness LLC. You can visit my website at www.reclaimfit.com. And if you'd like to get in touch with me directly, you can email me season@reclaimfit.com. Bye.